Question: who has their tea or coffee ready? Back in a minute. Cheers. And hi, this is Jan from New York City. And my channel name is Jan from New York City Saves Money. How's everybody doing today? Hope that this video, as always, finds everybody doing well. If you're brand new here, welcome, welcome, welcome. If you are a veteran viewer here, sincere and humble, thank you, thank you, thank you. If you're just dropping by to say hello, hello. Hope one day you'll stick around. Today is Tea Tuesday. Now, I'm recording this in actuality on a Friday, but you're viewing this on Tuesday. However, I am truly having a break. There is no script here. We're just hanging out. We're hanging out together. And I think that that is a very, very cool thing to do. How was your previous 7 days? Hope doing well. I really mean it. You know, holiday time is a lot of fun. But honestly, it does possess a certain amount of stress because you want to make sure you get the right things for the right people, or whatever cooking project you have with upcoming Thanksgiving. You want to hopefully everything turns out well, and and don't do what I did when I was young. Please, whatever you do, bake roast the turkey, and only to find out that the package of giblets are still in the cavity. How many of you out there have ever done that? I did that 2 times, once in my 20s and once in my early 30s. The great news was that the remainder of the turkey was delicious, and nobody truly but myself really knew the better, if I'm not mistaken. Speaking of Thanksgiving, I want to talk a minute about gratitude. I was talking to a friend the other day, and I was watching, one of those shopping type programs on TV. And on that show, they were selling this fancy apple covered with a bunch of goo and covered with a bunch of candy on it. Okay. I said, oh, I know that, I don't want to put it down or anything, because it is, this is not a sponsored ad or anything, but I have had those. Okay. And they are very, very much a treat. It's not something you eat every single day. But that apple represented a situation that I was in. For those who don't know, I'm a former elementary school teacher. I taught grades 3 and 6 in a self-contained classroom back in the 80s up to the early 90s. And I was so used to working in such an environment with, with clergy, with nuns and priests and stuff like that. And right before we broke for Christmas vacation, for example, the kids were so cute. The kids and their moms and their dads. Every year I'd go home with like 4 shopping bags of gifts. I'm not even kidding you. I got so used to it year in and year out. I'm not kidding. I'm just telling the truth. Every year. I was like, no, don't do that. You don't have to do. I was like totally, completely spoiled. I'll admit that. But they felt that they wanted to do that, and, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. Okay. In addition to that, some years in the particular school where I taught, the nuns and the priests would get it together and actually give the teachers a monetary cash holiday, Christmas bonus. Some years it was really, really, really nice. Some years with skinny chickens. But no matter what, right before the holiday, that extra envelope was given to us. Fast forward to my next job, which was not working with nuns and priests, and which was in a medical environment with doctors. Okay. Well, I have to say, I guess I was kind of spoiled with the nuns and the priests. Truly. And my co-workers back then, I have to look them up. They were such nice people. Every single year, And this was in a prestigious office where this activity took place. And honestly, very affluent people that ran that business. Let's just put it that way. So every single year, what did the office get after their hard work? Extra hours coming in during blizzards. When I was in school, I was used to summer vacations, Christmas vacation, Easter vacation, midwinter break, all the Catholic holidays and all the legal holidays, and my work day at the office ended at 2:30. But I took my job home with me. I wasn't one of those types. Like, that's the end of it. I did a lot of behind the scenes stuff, and I did it gladly, and I would do it again. But this other place, extremely long hours, and really the staff, like most of us, we felt really unappreciated. We really, really did. So every year came out these bags of these apples. And back then they were new to the scene. So we're like, oh man, what pretty bags. And then, it came from a fancy name, kind of like a Tiffany blue color bag. Ooh, I can't believe this. This is what I recall. So all of us like bugging out. Okay. Then we open it up and it was this apple. Now, if it wasn't such a scenario, and if I guess all of us were used to getting something better than an apple. And they did the apple thing every year. They could have thought enough of the workers to put a $50 bill in a card. That was my reaction. I was in my 30s. Okay. Would I have that reaction now in my 60s? Absolutely not. My reaction would have been, thank you very much. I really appreciate it, and walk away. The things you learn as time goes by. And we were all like, but we don't want this apple. We want a cash bonus. That's the way the office felt. But I look back now, and I don't like how I felt about that. It was really ridiculous. It wasn't right. It's wrong. And I'm, the first one to always say, no, appreciate. But I had come from, I guess, a place of spoiledness in a way. Don't get me wrong. I worked real hard at what I did, teaching. Make no mistake about it. I loved my class. They loved me back, but it wasn't about the love. It was about the learning. I, took my work home with me. I remember when I had to visit friends or relatives, I'd be sitting on the bus correcting test papers. My job never stopped. I decompressed somewhat in the summer and maybe took a little bit of a breath during Easter and Christmas. The truth be told, that educators actually do need that time, because especially back in my day, I had classroom sizes up to 48 kids. 48 kids! But I did it. Okay. But going back to the gratitude thing, I feel sad. I feel sad. But there's a little funny story to tell you. There was a gentleman that I knew from my local area. An older man, very kind, nice man. Everybody knew him and everything. And he didn't get out much. I think he was physically challenged, So he would always see me walking back with this bag with this apple in it. He would call me by my name incorrectly, but I never corrected him. He used to call me Janice. My name is Janet, not Janice. But anyway, many Janets get that in their life. So I just, I never corrected him. I'd hear Janice. He would wait for me to give him, because every year I gave him that apple, every year. One year he was so hysterically happy, he was looking out the window. He said, "You going to get the apple again?" I said, "Probably." So that year I happened to get 2 apples because my other coworker was like, "Please, I don't want an apple again." I said, "Well, I know the perfect person who loves them." So I came home and he was so happy to get the apples and he was so grateful. You see, it's the same object. Who looks at it one way? Who looks at it the other way? But the right way, in my mind's eye, I'm not being preachy, I'm just being Janet. In my mind's eye, grown up Janet, is that you have to have an attitude of gratitude. I don't know what that person's budget is that ran that, medical office. Maybe that person's medical budget wasn't as nice as I thought it was. And all they could afford was, something like that. And anyway, it's the thought that counts because that's what I was taught my whole life. That's why it gets to be sticky business around the holiday season with the gifts and all this and all that. But I just want to say that not my proudest moment. It reminds me of, biblical, when people were getting bored with manna from heaven. Oh no, this again. This again kept you going for a long time. But it is what it is, human nature. As long as we learn from our mistakes. Hey, listen, one person's unliked apple gift turned into someone else's. Boy, I can't wait till Janet comes back with those apples. So there. Nice to see everybody again. And if you are interested in participating in Tea Tuesday, please don't hesitate to do so. And I need to hook up names. I always, by accident, forget to hook up names of other people that are in the collab. So please forgive me for that. And I will try to do it this time. I will do it this time. And anyway, well, I'm going to end my broadcast, but thank you so much for coming back for episode 6. I really appreciate you. And also, I do have a regular show Monday through Friday. Every single morning I upload at 5 a.m. Eastern. And I look forward to you guys coming back. In the meantime, this has been Jan from New York City. Thank you so much for viewing. Why? Because I really do appreciate you. Don't forget to come back in the future for some more savings, tips, and tricks, or on Tuesdays at 10 a.m. tea time. I'm going to close out the show and come back with a wave. Be right back. Enjoy your tea, coffee, Joe, whatever. Have a wonderful, wonderful day.